was working in St. Paul in '96, I was lucky enough to attend a workshop by Raya Hassan, organised by Cassandra. And when I came back to New Zealand, I brought with me a new dance, one that intrigued some, confused others, and caused at least one complaint. It's the Millayah Laf. Let's have a look. Hi, I'm Kashmir, and today I want to look at the Millayah Laf. But first, a note on the spelling. Farida Fahmi's research would suggest it should be transliterated with 2 L's. You'll usually see it written with just one. And of course the last letter is a Tahmabuta, so that should be actually put in with an H. But you'll see lots of other spellings, so if you want to do searches on the internet, you better try a combination of them. But what exactly is a Millayah Laf? The word means winding sheet, and for much of the 20th century it was a city woman's outdoor wrap. It was worn by both the working class and the well-to-do. Effectively it was a coat. Bedouin women also wear a melaya, but there's no laf, and it's quite a different garment. The melaya itself is a very large piece of fabric. Traditionally it's actually got 2 horizontal pieces and also one at right angles down the other side. It's made of cotton, or cotton with silk, or cotton with wool. It's black. It's quite heavy and quite stretchy. Denise used to say that the younger women's ones would be shorter because they hadn't had time to stretch. They'll actually stretch under their own weight, and most women will only have one. That said, the fashion from the 20s through to the 60s actually made it smaller and shorter as well. So it's wrapped, so when you go outside you can be modestly covered, although there's a little bit of play with that. And depending on how you wrap it, you can also end up with pockets and places for your groceries or even small children. It was commonly in use from the 1920s to the 1960s, although people still wore them after that, but very rarely. So what's all this got to do with dancing? Well, in the 1960s, Mahmoud Rida created the Milaya Lef tableau. So he took the character of the Bint al-Balad, the daughter of the country, added the traditional Malaya, and added dancing. I'll say that again. It was created by Mahmoud. It is not traditional. So women in Egypt didn't wander down the streets with their Malayas dancing away. No. Only on stage, and only since the 60s, by which stage, by the way, the Malaya was actually disappearing. Farida was the first person who actually danced this role. It was created for her, and she described the character as being sweet, nice, calm. Underneath her Malaya, she wore a dress which would have been fashionable at the time and also worked well for stage. So it was quite short, so when you wrapped the Malaya you wouldn't actually see any dress below it. The outfit was completed with shoes, a burra and a mandil. I'm not wearing a burra because then you can't see me when I'm speaking and it feels a bit weird. After Mahmoud, many other teachers also created their own versions of the dance, and they could vary quite a bit. Denise Anand's stayed pretty close to that sweet character, and her character was informed by the fact that she knew people who wore the Malaya, and she'd seen them wrapping it. She saw how they acted. Ada Noor's one was far more theatrical. There's a lot more movement, a lot more dance, and a little less Malaya manipulation. Raya Hassan went for sexy, and we would keep our Malayas incredibly tight to show our figures the whole time. So it varies a bit. The other thing that varies is the Malaya. You can see from the original one, it was very close to the traditional Malaya. It was black. Since then they've been adding sequins onto it. Well, not actually sequins, paillettes. And the ones that you buy in Cairo now are actually quite light, quite tatty, and too small, and lots of sequins. So, now that you know what it is, are you tempted to try it for yourself? My next video will look at the salient points you need to consider when you create your own Milaya Laf tableau. Once it's published, there will be a card above and there will be a link below. Until then, I can't tell you what it's going to be, but it will be the week after this one is published.